Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Bob with Bob's Leather Works in Crystal River, Florida. And today is February 11th, 2020. This is a new butt cover that I've never made before for a Remington 700 BDL stock, Bravo Delta Lima, for those of you who are in the military, or were in the military. And this gentleman sent me his stock because I couldn't have made the cover without it, because there are 5 or 6 considerations that have to be accommodated in order to get this stock on here, to have it look good, fit well, and work. So I'm going to go over some of those right now. First of all, there's this rise up here for where the cheek pad, which I will show you, comes up over the stock, all part of the wood. Now, this is a 1982 stock, according to the owner, but I don't know whether or not the shock pad that's on here, rubber shock pad, was factory or it was added on aftermarket, because as far as I know, these original stocks just had a simple plastic butt plate. This one's got a shock pad on it. Doesn't say Pachmeyer, so possibly anybody that's out there who knows can send me a comment and tell me whether or not they've got one of these, and if this was and it's vented, was a factory stock, a factory option, or that it was aftermarket from some gunsmith. I've seen more than one of them with the same exact shock pad on here, so don't know. Anyway, the cover's got to fit well in the back, which it does. There's no space in between the leather and here other than the turnover, the curving coming around. The overlap has got to come down and fit snug up in here, coming across the stock, or the top of the stock, and it's got to be cut to size to stay away from where the end of your thumb and part of the heel of your hand goes in. So when you're gripping the rifle and where the bullet loops are, that's a natural open space, and so the bullet loops and the first bullet won't be in your way, and you can still grip the rifle. And according to the owner, you have 3 rounds underneath the bolt on the floor plate, so if you need another round, it's right here. So if you're going to switch out, you need that round, you can get to it, and it's right up front. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra rounds. He sent me these steel cases, which allowed me to make the loops. Back here, there are 6 holes for the crisscross, but I've decided after I put it on here I really only needed 5. So any future covers that I make will only have 5, and there'll be a little more opening between the lacing. This will work, but it's a little much, a little overkill. So here's the other side, and how this worked out, I was surprised. I used leather that was thick enough that it didn't pucker up when I snugged this all onto here. Now they're not perfectly parallel, but the curve out, let me get this as close as I can. The curve out worked pretty good. This line is straight here, that line is straight, and this one curves out a little bit, and there just wasn't any way to make it perfectly parallel, but I think it gets the job done. So there is that feature right there. Covers up the checkering a little bit, but I think that's okay. Now, the other thing that I'll probably change a bit, but you wouldn't even notice it, is that this one here, there's quite a bit of overlap going underneath here. And this is glued on underneath through here. And if I make this a little shorter, the piece that's under here you can't even see, this will lay down a little bit flatter on here because this is very thick on top. Now, you may like that, you wouldn't even notice it, but to me it made it a little trickier. When I dyed this, I also put neat's foot oil all over it to soften the leather up and make it easier to conform when I put it on the rifle. That's just leather working, and that is why now it's very snug. This is Granger lace from Tandy Leather Factory, Granger. If you go online and you look up on their laces and on their website, if you don't have the catalog, that's how you find this lace. It's real strong and smooth on one side, but it does have a lot of fuzz on the inside. In the future, if this were to ever break or wear out or whatever, easy to get more of it, or regular Latigo lace, or you could use paracord. Doesn't matter. Whole idea is to keep it on here, and after this is on here for a while, it'll be very easy to relace it because this will just conform right back onto the stock. So any of you that think you might want one of these, I've got to and not having the stock to make it with, it's got to be this particular stock for this particular pattern. Anything that changes, I've got to have a new stock to make a new cover. So there are his initials, American flag, and I'll spin this around so you can see it. There's my maker stamp, Bob's Leatherworks, made in the USA. Bob'sLeatherworks.com, made in the USA. So that's it. Anybody has any questions, you want to order one, all my contact information is at the end of the video. And I got one more thing to show you, which I almost forgot. He ordered a sling too. So I've got it right here, and I'll bring it into the shop. This is the Thumbhole Sling I've been making for quite a long time. Any of you who haven't seen it up close or would like to get one of these are very tough. This is thick leather, 5/6 ounce leather. This is your handle right here with wax lace, taking the flat piece of leather from up here, rolling it over and sewing it shut. Your thumb goes into this hole. This is suede. There's a piece of foam in here. And if you want anything stamped on here other than your initials, I can do that for you at an extra charge. Stock's not, or this sling is not cheap, but I don't quote prices until I talk to people on the phone, because leather prices change and years go by. So I don't want to date the video and have you say, well, you told me it was this in the video, but now you're asking me this. Sorry, that's why I don't put prices in my videos. There's my maker stamp on this one too. If you ever run across these and that stamp is not there, I didn't make it. Okay. I put black Chicago screws on here too to keep them as non-reflective as possible. If you want them less reflected, then you can always sandpaper them off. Very strong keeper, and also longer. I've lengthened this strap so that if you adjust it all the way down, you can get it over a heavy coat in the wintertime. And the whole idea behind this Thumbhole Sling is so that if you're up at sling arms with it, walking through the woods or wherever you are, you won't have the rifle be backing up off your shoulder. This will keep your rifle down and the barrel pointing up. And then when you need it, you can just roll it off your shoulder and turn it around and you're good to go. So that's the sling, and you've seen the butt cover. Get them both back into the shot. And there they are. Okay. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Look for my contact information coming up at the end of the video. And hope to hear from you. Bye-bye for now from Crystal River, Florida.